Here we are again. Some more workshop rambling. Who knows what it's going to be like? Please don't be too bored, but yeah. So my subject for today is the good old Bears racer. Bears sidecars, baby. We went out, a lady sidecar and I, to Pembury, a BHR event, British Historic Racing, part of the Vintage Motorcycle Club, of course. Pembury last weekend, and not bad. A little bit of a problem in the first race. The throttle cable jumped off. I mean, how does that happen, really? Does anybody know? Let me just show you this. This is a quick action throttle. So you don't turn it very far. As you can see, it's about a quarter of a turn to get from idling to full throttle. Well, in here, there's a pulley, and the cable obviously goes down there, and the cable jumped off the pulley. How the hell? I mean, really, how can that happen? But it happened in the first race, so we got to watch it from the side. Not very upset. It's just one of those things. First race of any season, even though it's very late in the year. First race kicks up a lot of stuff, and you know, if you can't expect to go a whole season without breaking down. I mean, we're having half a season this year, to be fair. But, you know, it was good. And this bike has been raced before, but not very much. Well, last year, Ian Tennant, my mate Ian Tennant, I'll put a picture in. Ian Tennant and I did 2.5 races, and it broke down because I fried the clutch, because it wasn't adjusted properly. So it's all pilot error in this case. It's normally passenger error in this game, of course, but there you are. So she's not done much, and over the winter made quite a few mods to it. To be fair, I think she's pretty nice, pretty good. The big change is 17-inch wheels from 18, and basically what that does, it isn't just the fact that they're smaller, which is good, but it's modern bikes use 17-inch wheels, so there are far more tyres available, but also there are far more free tyres available. And let's face it, motor racing needs to be free. And here's a wheel. Here's a wheel for you to look at. There you go. I made these with a bit of help from my friend at Willis Wheels, and my other friend, the notorious, famous Steve Gagg, engineer, entrepreneur, just a wonderful, clever, talented guy, not like me. We got to Pembury, and Claire and I, lady sidecar, and the throttle popped off, and then they said, the numbers are no good, the numbers are too small, and then they also said the transponder doesn't work. So then, you know, the numbers thing is a perennial, because you build these bikes and you want them to be smart. Well, great big number boards doesn't help. So I had this. There's the number. Can you see it? And that wasn't good enough. Now, get this straight. I am all for safety. I'll show you something else about safety in a few minutes. But that wasn't good enough. But you see, in that position, when I'm sat on the bike, my leg is there. So I've made that. I've made that one, and you know, I'd call that a gorgeous number plate. A little bit of extra space there to get a sticker on. We like our stickers, by the way. And I also made that one. What about that? International Forwarding Company there, Rob Pike, good old lad. And Gentle Mix Tattoo Parlour, my mate Rick, great bloke. You know, and anybody who wants to help me with this, please let me know. Gem-X Remedies, Jem Richards, all things motocross. What a great bloke. And while we're doing the stickers, Three-Wheeling, it's a film about the sidecar racing at the TT. excellent film. You want to take a look at it. It's probably on YouTube now. And S4S. There we go. S4S. Steel for Structures. Company in Buckley. Given me quite a lot of work in the past, and they're good lads. And of course, my mate, Mike Richards, producer of Sidecars, ancient and modern, and it's like mobile sculpture. It's just art. It's beautiful. He is one of the best engineers I've ever known in my life. Truly great guy. Had nothing to do with building this bike, by the way. Although he does have an engine for me for next season. Here's hoping. Fingers crossed. Because this is a 750. And we're racing in a class that's predominantly 1100s, thousands, and a few 1200s as well. Well, of course, the old 750 is... paint's still wet. The old 750 is considerably slower, and no matter how, at Pembury, no matter how hard I tried, we were nowhere. We were not just a bit at the back, we were right at the back. There were some newbies there, a brand new sidecar crew, and the driver was carrying an injury as well, so all that slowed them down. The lack of experience and the fact that they'd never ridden a bike, and etc., etc. All of it slowed them down just enough for us to be able to play with them in one of the races. And I'm going to try and work in a clip for that. But yeah, it was all good, and really pleased with the bike. Bike's going really well. Beyond that, this is just workshop rambling. What about that baby? This is the brand new, made this weekend, camera array to make better videos for this channel. And as you can see, I've got 3 cameras on it, looking backwards and slightly down. When Lady Sidecar goes out for the left, there she is. Looking forwards and slightly inwards to get me a little bit, that camera. And this camera here, just looking forwards, but upside down. And I've yet to figure out how to turn the film around. But solid, and as per the ACU rules, you can't have handles or things that end in midair. You've got to have a return. So you can see these bars, they don't end in midair, they return actually to the frame of the bike. Yeah, and this one on the front. And this one, you see, starts there and ends there. And so therefore, it has a return. And so the camera array, what a great word, the camera array starts there, little bolt into this handle, extremely strong piece of the structure of the bike. You can see that? See that there? That's pretty good. I don't think that'll work very well. Extremely strong structure of the bike, so that's bolted on there and secured against the wheel arch there. I did think about putting something on the passenger handle there, but nah, not suitable. And of course what you've got to also realise is your passenger in a race is sort of out of control, because if you're swerving and sliding and braking hard and all the rest of it, they're not necessarily going to be inch perfect, so they'll grab for the handle. And if your cameras are somewhere that would be grabbed, for instance, I could mount this here and tell Lady Sidecar just to avoid it. But if you're sliding out of control, just wipe that off. So all these are hopefully out of her reach. I hope you're watching this, darling. So yeah, really pleased with myself. I know I shouldn't be, it's not that good, but there you go. So I said, and by the way, before we go any further with anything, that's the machine that drives it all. That baby, I tell you what, you know something about drugs? You think you know something about drugs? Caffeine. Caffeine is the drug of choice. Today, I don't know whether you noticed, ding. Okay, so I was going to talk to you about safety. It's today. Today is August the 1st, 2021, in case you're watching this in the year 3000 and your kids live underwater. Get that reference? And August the 7th and 8th is the sidecar revival at Cadwell Park. This bike and I and Lady Sidecar, we will be there. Now, it's run by the British Motorcycle Racing Club, which is probably the best motorcycle racing club in Britain. Most efficient, great organisation, truly great. And they are at the forefront of health and safety in British motorcycle racing. They're as keen as a club can be. Remember, they're a club, they're not the Nationals, but they are, in a lot of cases, they're as big as the Nationals, they're great. Anyway, so they're running the revival. The Bears sidecars are a guest class, and I'm really excited about it. It's a shame that through the pandemic and one thing and another, a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people have maybe had a period out of work, a lot of people are still nervous about crowds, and we have a little flying beast, and therefore won't be there. So we haven't got a great big grid of Bears sidecars. Remember that phrase. And on top of all the other things that happened just through email and one thing and another, and somebody, because I'm a spokesperson for the class. So Bemsy, Mike Dommett, CEO of Bemsy, has been emailing me and talking to me about the guest class, because it's a sidecar revival. It's all about sidecars. And it came out anyway. So one of our members asked me, what about back protectors? Because Bemsy, remember, forefront of health and safety, insist on back protectors, whereas the ACU, the national body, as yet doesn't. So we, racing with BHR, we're still in 1957 in a lot of cases, although they're great people, don't get me wrong. It's a great club to be part of. And if you fancy some cheap motorcycle racing, you want to get into it, maybe you've always dreamt of it, this is the way forward. Anyway, back protectors. Do we need them? And there was a little bit of to and fro with email, and because we're a guest class, we don't need them. But we talked a lot about back protectors, and a lot of people on Facebook thought that I was anti-back protector, and it couldn't be further from the truth. But it has to be said, I am a bit cavalier and I tend not to wear one, so, more fool me. I have injured my bike in motorcycle crashes, motorcycle poisoning I call it, but there you go, so I have injured my back. And anyway, it went round in a bit of a circle on Facebook, as it does, and you get hung, drawn and quartered, as you do, which I'm sort of used to, so I'm not really complaining. But then, my friend, and now back protector sponsor, Mark Mayer, and his beautiful and new wife, Kim, they've only sent me one. Hang on, watch this. I, of course, know what's in here, and so do you. But I put it back in the package just to be a little bit mysterious, but I'm so pleased. These are great. Thank you to Mark May. So, as you can see, this is a back protector, and this bit is on the outside of your back. Here, on the outside of your back. Mostly, they sort of just have a strap around your middle, but this comes with a jacket. And look at that. Mark's considerably taller than me, but look at that. The thing fits. When I say considerably taller than me, he's not an overly tall fella, just I'm a bit weak. So look at that. So that's all there. Bit of breastbone protection, bit of rib protection, and this strap here is adjustable, so you can make it even tighter. And that there, if you happen to get in an accident and go backwards into something solid, that's how these babies work. Obviously your leathers are also over the top of them, a crushing injury that way, your leathers make exoskeleton, with the stiffness of the back protector, you're likely to get less sort of disc damage and all that sort of thing. So Mark Mayer, I hope you're watching. Thank you, mate. Means a lot to me. I did also fail to mention Alfie cameras. And there's the sticker there. Great product from North Wales. Rock and roll, baby. I want everybody to understand that I am fully behind every scrutineer, every volunteer and every official in every club that I race at. So I'm not knocking anybody about numbers and about timekeepers. Obviously I'm part of the problem. I'm a big part of the problem a lot of the time. But I'm also part of the machine, because there's my ACU licence, and on the back, if you can read that, it says technical inspector or official or something. That's because I too am a scrutineer, and I do understand. I understand the rules, and oftentimes rebels like me put those guys in a bad position. And please, don't think bad of me. I'm just disorganised. Come motorcycle racing, you people out there, if you're not a racer, I don't know why you'd be watching this, but if you're not a racer and you fancy the cheapest motor racing in modern history and the cheapest sidecar racing for 30 years, give me a shout. Get in touch with me via this channel or anywhere else, Facebook, SlowPhil, and I'm sure I can help you. Some bad news. A marshal died at Brands Hatch this weekend, and although it's very rare, it never takes the sting away. What some people don't realise is that all motorsport, professional and amateur, in Britain is supported by a huge band of volunteers that essentially do not get paid and do it because it's fun. And it's, instead of being a motor racer, they're all motor racing fans. There is not a single marshal or medic or anybody that volunteers that isn't a motor racing fan. A marshal's been killed at a car meeting, although that's irrelevant. My heart goes out to their family and friends, and my prayers, and it's absolutely tragic. But the recognition that all marshals need, or should have, I should say, is huge, and not given up all the time. So from me, I would say thank you to the Orange Army. Every single time I go out, they are instrumental in going out at all, good meetings and bad meetings. But when I've needed help, they are the people that help me. So thank you all.